Some houses don't just remember the dead, they feed on the living. A crumbling countryside mansion, hidden deep in a mist-soaked valley, long abandoned after a string of unsolved disappearances. Elena, a 26-year-old history researcher, curious but carrying the burden of unresolved childhood trauma. The Hollow Ones, whispering entities that mimic the voices of those Elena loves. Elena enters the mansion to uncover its secrets, but the deeper she goes, the more the house twists her memories, forcing her to question what's real. The threat grows as she realizes the mansion feeds on emotions, specifically guilt and grief. Have you ever stepped into a place that knew you before you even crossed the threshold? That's what Elena felt the night she found the mansion. The air hung thick with damp earth and rotting leaves, the valley smothered in fog. Locals refused to speak of the estate, except in half-whispered warnings. The hollow house eats the lonely. Elena wasn't superstitious, she was a researcher. But something had been gnawing at her since childhood, her brother Daniel's disappearance 20 years ago. He was only 7. One minute they were playing near the woods, the next, he was gone. The search led nowhere. The grief consumed her parents. And deep down, Elena carried the guilt. She'd looked away for only a moment. And now, here she stood, in front of the very house that townsfolk whispered Daniel had entered. The front doors creaked open on their own. She stepped inside. The air smelled of mildew and something faintly metallic like rust or blood. The hallway stretched unnaturally long, lined with tall mirrors cracked like spider webs. Each reflection of Elena seemed slightly off. In one, her lips twitched into a smile she hadn't made. In another, her eyes blinked just a second too late. Her breath quickened, but then she heard it. A voice, small, familiar. Elena? Her heart stopped. It was Daniel's voice, the same soft, shaky tone from when he was 7. She spun, her flashlight trembling in her hands. Daniel? The beam cut across the hallway, and in the distance, she saw a small figure. A boy, barefoot, in torn pajamas, standing at the edge of the shadows. Elena staggered forward. No, it can't be. The boy tilted his head, face hidden in darkness. Then he whispered, "Why did you leave me?" Her chest tightened. The house groaned. The mirrors shivered, cracking further, until from within their fractured surfaces, shapes began to emerge, figures peeling themselves out like skin from a wound. They had no faces, just hollow pits where features should be. And yet, they spoke with voices she knew. Her mother's sobbing plea, her father's broken anger, Daniel's childlike laugh. Elena pressed her palms to her ears, but the voices pierced through. You forgot me. You killed me. You're next. The Hollow Ones reached for her, stretching long, finger-like shadows across the walls. Elena bolted deeper into the house. Doors slammed shut behind her, each hallway twisting into impossible shapes. The boy's voice always just ahead, always luring her further in. Come play with me, Elena. Her flashlight sputtered. She fell to her knees in what looked like a nursery, dusty cribs, broken toys, and drawings on the wall. Childlike scrawls of stick figures, but each one had hollow, black faces. At the center lay a small wooden box. Her hands shook as she opened it. Inside was Daniel's shoe, the same one he wore the day he vanished. Her tears blurred her vision. I'm sorry, I should have protected you. That's when she realized the truth. The house hadn't kept Daniel. It had become him. His grief, his fear, his loneliness, all devoured, reshaped, until he was one of them. The shadows gathered, the mirrors pulsed like veins. The boy's voice now deep, hollow, inhuman. You can stay with me forever. Elena screamed as the Hollow Ones surged. The last thing she saw in the mirror was herself, her eyes now pits of black, her mouth smiling wide though she wasn't. The mansion still stands in that valley, rotting quietly, waiting patiently. Some say on misty nights, you can hear a woman's voice echoing faintly from its halls begging, weeping, calling out a name. Others claim the hollow ones have grown stronger, that the more people who vanish inside, the more faces they gain. So, if you ever wander through that valley and hear a child's voice calling for help, don't answer, because once the hollow house knows your grief, it never lets you go. Elena doesn't escape. She becomes part of the house, her voice joining the chorus of hollow ones for eternity. As the darkness closes in and the echoes of terror fade away, remember to brace yourself for the next chilling tale. If you enjoyed this Journey Fear, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave your chilling thoughts in the comments. Share this spine-tingling experience with fellow horror lovers, and let's keep the nightmares alive.